Shows was what is the role of bacterial biofilms and how might they cause problems? Before being able to answer this question, we must first need to know how biofilms work and form. A biofilm is an aggregate of microorganisms in which cells adhere to each other on a surface. Biofilms can form on non-living surfaces such as contact lenses and artificial joint replacements. These adherent cells are frequently embedded within a self-produced matrix of extracellular polymeric substance. A biofilm is a polymeric conglomeration generally composed of extracellular DNA, proteins, and polysaccharides. Biofilms may form on living and non-living surfaces and can be prevalent in natural, industrial, and hospital settings. Moving on to how a biofilm forms, we see they start with an initial attachment. Initial attachment is when the cells bind to a solid surface. Next comes irreversible attachment, which is the cells become encased in a polymeric matrix that the cells produce and thus are anchored down. Following irreversible attachment is maturation 1 and maturation 2. These are simply the processes of maturing and allow the biofilm to develop. The final step is dispersion. Dispersion is when the biofilm disperses and allows the biofilm to spread and colonize new surfaces.
Now that we understand what a biofilm is to an extent and how it forms, we can look into why they may cause problems. The reason they may cause problems is because pathogenic bacteria can be difficult for the immune system as well as modern medicine to deal with once the biofilm develops. For example, biofilm may be resistant to certain antibiotics, or even worse, may lay down more matrix, making the biofilm even more impermeable than it already was to begin with. A perfect example of a biofilm is dental plaque. Dental plaque is a yellowish biofilm that builds up on the teeth. Biofilms contain communities of disease-causing bacteria, and their uncontrolled accumulation has been associated with cavities and gum disease. Although gum disease can be controlled by proper oral hygiene such as toothbrushing, flossing, and rinsing, gingivitis is still experienced by most of the U.S. population at some point in life. A smaller portion experiences periodontitis. Treatment of oral infections requires removal of the biofilm and tartar from the teeth and gums by surgical or non-surgical procedures, followed by antibiotic therapy. Unfortunately, these infections are not completely responsive to antibiotics. This example of a biofilm is an ideal example of why biofilms